Well, I wanted to tell you what PVA primer is. PVA is polyvinyl acetate, and it is a primer that is used to seal new drywall. When we put up a piece of sheetrock or drywall, we put spackle or mud in the joints and on the nail heads or the screw heads, and we sand that down and get it nice and smooth. And the paper that is on the sheetrock is very porous, and also the spackle that we use ends up becoming porous. So if we just took regular paint and just painted over a freshly sheetrocked wall, what we would see is we would see where the joints are, and although they would be smooth, they would also show up as a little bit different color. And if we used a primer and paint, we would need to put on at least 2 coats, maybe 3 coats, in order to get good coverage. And that depends on the quality of the paint and the color, the tinting, and all of that kind of thing. But if we use a PVA primer on new sheetrock, what it's going to do is it's going to seal up the paper that's on the sheetrock surface, and it's also going to seal the spackle that has been sanded smooth around the joints and the nail and screw heads. So we want to use a primer. When it goes on, it is not going to give us super coverage like we would have on our final coat, because it doesn't have a lot of pigment. The goal is not to make it a uniform color per se, it is for us to seal the surface. And so when it goes on, you just need to make sure that you have a nice covered surface with the PVA primer. And so that's what we use. We put that on first, and then if we use a good quality paint for the color coat, we'll only need to use 1 coat of paint on that for the finish. So that's a little bit about primers, and it works great, and it gives us a nice uniform surface.